This is All of It on WNYC. I'm Allison Stewart. Hey, quick reminder, we have been reading our March Get Lit Book Club pick, and it's almost time to discuss. Tomorrow at the New York Public Library, I will be in conversation with Megha Mujumdar, the author of the novel A Guardian and a Thief. We'll also hear a special live performance from sitar master Puraban Chatterjee. If you have tickets, I will see you tomorrow. It's sold out, by the way. Doors open at 5:30 p.m., so get there early to make sure you get a good seat. If you don't have tickets, you can join us by watching the live stream. Head to wnyc.org/getlit to find out how. Now, let's get this hour started with some spring cleaning. Spring is here, and you can see it as a chance for renewal, a chance to reset. And for many of us, that reset starts at home. It can be a powerful way to shift your energy, clear your mind, and make space for what's next. And that's where Feng Shui comes in. Feng Shui is an ancient practice rooted in aligning our environments with the natural world. And as today's guest describes it, it's kind of a mindfulness of space. Angie Cho is a Feng Shui expert, an architect, and a teacher of arts for more than 2 decades. She's also the author of Mindful Homes, Holistic Spaces, and co-author of Mindful Living. Angie, welcome to All of It.
Hi, Allison. Thank you so much for having me.
Listeners, we'd love to hear your input on this. What are you tackling with your spring cleaning? What's been the hardest to let go of? Are you trying any new rituals to mark the seasonal transition or to refresh your space? Give us a call or text at 212-433-9692, 212-433-WNYC. You can join us on air, or you can send us a message. Or if you have a question for Angie, you can ask that too. Or send us a message on social media at All of It WNYC. We're going to be talking about spring cleaning. Let's start really simple. What is Feng Shui, and how do you define it in a modern context?
That's a great question. So a lot of people have some inkling of Feng Shui. Feng Shui literally translates to the words to wind and water. Feng is wind and Shui is water. And it's an ancient Asian practice of beginning to look at your environment and how it begins to affect you and how you can affect it. So I bring in my own modern take by including the mindfulness aspects. I'm a Buddhist practitioner. And so I think that it's very important to consider that Feng Shui is how we can feel interconnected and interdependent with our environment and with the people around us to create more compassion and connection.
Why is spring a good time to consider Feng Shui?
I think that we can all understand, especially here in New York in the winter, this past winter, we spent a lot of time inside and we spent a lot of time compressed and contracted. And that's the kind of feeling of winter, like being inside of a seed. And springtime, from a Feng Shui perspective, is that emergence, that moment of emergence when the seed opens up. And we're starting to see it around the city, right? Like I saw some crocuses blooming on the way walking here. I saw some daffodils starting to emerge at Washington Square Park. So similarly, we also feel that emergence. Like yesterday I was at the park. I saw this guy just wearing swimming shorts, tanning already. It wasn't that warm.
But he had the right idea.
Right. So we want to emerge too.
I wanted to ask you, and this may be outside your purview. If it is, just we'll pass on it. I'm wondering about all the resolutions we made in January, just 3 months ago. Is it time to let them go and start new ones? Is it time to reaffirm them? What should we do with all that January goodwill that we started out with and maybe we haven't followed through with?
I think it's both. So from a Feng Shui perspective, we really look at yin and yang, which doesn't mean one or the other. It's not black or white, but maybe it's a time to look at what did I consider at that time and why has it fallen to the wayside, or why does it need new attention, and why does it need to come back into focus, or why does it need to be cut away? So yes, you should bring attention to it because it was worthy enough to bring light to during the new year. So I would say definitely revisit it, but that doesn't mean you need to be attached to it.
We're discussing spring cleaning and how to refresh your space for the new season with feng shui expert and architect Angie Cho. Listeners, we'd like to hear from you. Are you doing any spring cleaning right now? What areas of your home are you focusing on? What's been the most challenging to tackle? Do you have any rituals or tips to help you refresh your space or your mindset for the new season? Are there items you're struggling to let go of? Give us a call at 212-433-9692, 212-433 WNYC. What is the biggest mistake people make when they start spring cleaning?
That's a good question. I would say a big mistake that people may make while spring cleaning is to go all in and to get super overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in our modern lives now, it's really easy to go extra and feel like we need to go extra. We need to do everything at once. And even a 1% shift, like spending an extra 5 minutes one day, can make such a dramatic difference, like a drop of water on a rock over time. It can make a big impact, but that one drop sometimes gets overlooked.
What are common misconceptions about feng shui?
There are some common misconceptions. One is that it's expensive, and it doesn't need to be expensive. I hope that the listeners will walk away with something that doesn't cost anything, but maybe their attention and their intention from today's discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also that people tend to think that, a lot of people think it's only about moving furniture around or maybe about painting your door red. But I think with many practices, if everyone starts to think about what they love and what they're an expert in, things can go much deeper. And so feng shui is a really deep practice that can that you could study for your entire lifetime and still only tap into.
We'll get into more details, but what's one thing someone can do with feng shui right now, the next day or so?
I think one really impactful thing that people can do to really connect with this energy of spring, since we just had the equinox and we really need it here in New York, this spring emergence, is to bring a fresh spring flower into your home, like daffodils or cherry blossoms are going to start to come out. I haven't actually been to the flower market recently. I will this week, but see what's emerging, see what's blooming, and bring that life into your home, that beauty.
We got a couple of good texts here. I work at a used bookstore, and we've had a major increase in people selling us their books. Happens every year as people clear out their shelves for spring cleaning. This said, my wife and I vacated our apartment last week in preparation of renovation. A tremendous relief to unload, donating, recycling where applicable. 27 years of stuff. Returning early June for a fresh start, uncluttered smiley face.
Oh, amazing. I think that it can really lighten your heart to let go of all that we hold on to. And books that the listener mentioned, books can sometimes accumulate, like I'm guilty of this, lots of books that can represent knowledge, but not wisdom. Knowledge that we want to accumulate or want to hold on to, but the wisdom lies in our hearts, and it doesn't need to be written down in a book.
How can someone tell if they're feeling stuck, if their home feels stuck?
Yeah, so if we go back to the idea of yin and yang, so yin and yang can also be like something invisible, like yin is invisible, not seen, and yang is something active, like really visible. So on the practical yang side of it, you might start bumping into things, like you jump out of bed, you hit your shin, you can't open the door all the way, you're breaking things because you have a lot of the energy in your home is stuck. And then on the yin side, the invisible side, not necessarily the practical side, maybe you start to feel like you're not able to move forward in your relationships at work or in other parts of your life that aren't tangible.
So sometimes people can feel overwhelmed by the idea of, okay, it's going to be spring cleaning, I'm getting into it. What is a mindset shift that needs to happen before they can start?
I think that one mindset shift that seems to work for a lot of people I know or people I work with is that When you fill up your space, you send the message to the universe that I have more than enough. I don't have any space for anything else. And we all kind of know this. Like, for instance, you declutter your closet and suddenly you have plenty of clothes in there again. So the universe really wants to offer you so much. But if you give the message like, no, I'm good, I'm full, I don't need any more opportunities, I don't need any more friends, I don't need any more energy in my life, that's what you send the message. That's the message you're sending. So when you start to create this space, like in your closet or in your life or in your schedule, something amazing and magical, I promise you, will emerge and appear it's attracted to that space.
We've got a call. This is Natalie calling in from Gramercy.
Okay.
Hi, Natalie. Thanks for calling All of It. You're on with Angie Cho.
Well, thank you for taking my call. You know, I'm Natalie Rogers, and I'm the founder of Talk Power. I train people to overcome their fear of speaking in public. And I write books. I've written many books about this. And so I'm a writer and I'm a poet. And I have piles and piles of papers on every possible surface. I always say I never saw a surface that I didn't want to cover. And it really is beginning to look horrible. You know, I have a large apartment, so you can imagine I have lots of piles. And that's my problem. But I can't seem to get started, to start collecting everything. And
where would be a good place for her? Where would be a good place for her to start?
Yeah, I would say maybe start with 9. So 9 is a lucky number in feng shui. So maybe start with 9 pieces of paper at a time. And if you're the type of person that tends to accumulate things, and it sounds like you also like to help people and support people, maybe you can find also things in your home that you can let go of, that you can gift to someone else that would truly help them. And so you're helping others, you're being generous, and then keeping that, just doing that 1%, 9 pieces of paper, and recycle them. So you're not just throwing it away.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting, because this is what one of our texts says. Excuse me. One of the most helpful things for me in decluttering is to give or donate things that are usable but no longer useful to me. My favorite is to give away things on Buy Nothing via their app, or by a Facebook group, or Housing Works.
Yes, absolutely. And one of my favorite things to recommend at this time of year, it's a great time to also refresh your sheets and your bedding to kind of give yourself a fresh environment, because you spend, hopefully 9 hours in bed, but you can donate your used sheets to an animal shelter, because they really use them. And so that's one of my favorite things to also recommend.
Yeah, you say that people have a tendency to ignore their bedroom. Mm-hmm. That is not where they go initially to organize or to declutter themselves. Why do people tend to ignore their bedroom?
Well, I think it's because the other parts of our home, like our kitchen and the living room, for instance, they also invite they're a space for other people as well, right? Mm-hmm. So the other people in your home, as well as where you bring the public into your home, right? Like friends, and have activities. So like if I went to your home, Allison, you wouldn't say, let's go straight to the bedroom. I mean, maybe, but usually you'll probably say, let's have a tea or something. And so that's your most private space. So a lot of people, I think, have a hard time working with that private space first, working on themselves first. It's much easier to start working on things that are outside of you, which is totally okay, right?
Yeah. What do I do about nightstands? Nightstands can get very cluttered.
Oh, yeah. Mine just got a little bit decluttered because I had a humidifier, because, it's so dry here. And I just cleaned it and put it away. So now I have all this space. But that's a great thing to think about, because I personally have this issue. So I try to rotate out what's most important to me to have on my nightstand. Like I really wanted to use this gua sha tool I had at night before going to sleep. So I put it there so I remember. And then I had to just choose to not have other things out, because I had this huge humidifier on my nightstand. Is there something that you have that takes a lot of real estate on your
Books.
nightstand?
I have so many books on my nightstand. I keep thinking like, well, maybe I need to put the book that I really want to read.
Do you have trouble sleeping?
Sometimes.
Okay, because sometimes when people have trouble falling asleep and they have a lot of books around them, it means that because you're reading in bed, and then especially if it's nonfiction, it keeps your mind really active. For those of those listeners that have trouble falling asleep, I'm one of them too. Having a lot of exciting books next to you keeps your energy really up and active at night. And if you'd rather go to sleep, then it is more helpful to have books on your nightstand that are more like restful, like maybe fiction. And then you can have a nice spot in your living room where you read all your other amazing books.
In terms of feng shui, you said the desk in the bedroom and the bed are very important. Why are those two things important? What should people keep in mind?
So your desk, not necessarily in your bedroom. Ideally, it's not in your bedroom, but we're like New Yorkers, right? So and a lot of people, well, it's not just New Yorkers. A lot of people now are working from home, right? That's a new thing. So your desk is important because it represents you. You spend many hours sleeping there in a non-conscious state. You're asleep. You're not conscious. So you're really susceptible to all the energy around you. So the feng shui of your bed and bedroom is really important. And it's also the closest to you. Like it's for you, your partner, maybe a child, but generally not for everybody else. And it's the most private spot of your home. And the desk represents your career. So it's where you work. It's where you communicate with the outside world. Whether it's where you put your computer and you connect with what is your path in life to connect with the world.
So you think they should be separate?
Ideally, if possible, they would be in separate rooms. However, it's usually not possible for most people. So ideally, if you have the space, you would do your best to not have the desk visible from your bed while you're sleeping, or the bed you don't see your bed while you're working, because from a feng shui perspective, if you see your bed while you're working, you'll want to sleep all the time. And if you see your desk while you're trying to go to sleep, it's so easy to just jump up and say, oh, I forgot that email. I'm going to address that. And if you can't visibly separate them, you can also do a simple gesture like having a ritual to shut down your computer, put the laptop away in a drawer or cover it.
Oh, interesting.
So you don't see it.
Yeah. This said, I just decluttered my battery basket, checking expiration dates and throwing away those that have been expired. Yes, it's okay to put alkaline batteries in regular garbage. I checked. Note that this was an opportunity declutter. When I went to replace a battery in an egg timer I have, I discovered what a mess that basket was. So I did a quick declutter.
That's wonderful too. Just like seeing what shows up and something that's really small, and it makes a big difference, 1%.
Listeners, we want to hear from you. What are you doing this spring cleaning? Are there areas of your home that you're focusing on, and what's been the most important, challenging area to tackle? Do you have any rituals or tips to help refresh your space and your mindset for the new season? Our number is 212-433-9692, 212-433-WNYC. We're discussing spring cleaning and how to refresh your space for the new season with Feng Shui expert and architect Angie Cho. We'll have more after a quick break and more of your calls. This is all of it. You're listening to All of It on WNYC. I'm Allison Stewart. My guest in studio is Angie Cho. We are discussing spring cleaning and how to refresh your space for the new season. Listeners, we'd like to hear from you. Are you doing any spring cleaning right now? Our number is 212-433-9692. Let's talk to Sonia from Jersey City. Hi, Sonia. Thank you for making the time to call All of It.
Hi, I'm so excited about your guest. It's Angie, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Angie. I live in Jersey City. I just retired from the government, so I moved down the hall in my same apartment building, cheaper rent. But I was feeling despondent. I wasn't feeling the space, and I finally said, you know what? I talked to my spirit guides, and I got out of my pity party, and I decided to make the space my own. So I purged a lot of stuff. I burned my sage, and I told the universe, I am going to make this my home. And you know what? It works. So I just wanted to tell you thank you, because you're dead on.
Thank you so much for calling. You know, there is the mental health aspect of decluttering. How can it help your mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that people don't realize that they're swimming in so much stuff, whether it's an abundance of information, social media, objects, belongings, and it's like a fish in water. You don't know. And when this, like Sonia had this opportunity to accept a new space that was going to be more suitable for her, she accepted that invitation from the universe to make a shift. So I think that for the listeners, they can start to see, like, what is maybe like a nudge you're getting? And is there an area of your home that you've been neglecting? And this is an invitation. It doesn't have to take long. It can be your battery basket. It can be your entire closet. I just did that last Wednesday, and whew, was it exhausting.
Yeah.
But you know, you find a way to just do a little at a time to invite in more opportunity, more spaciousness, and to invite in a little bit more peace and joy into your life.
Let's talk to Jessica in Montclair. Hi, Jessica. Thank you for making the time to call All of It.
Hi. So one thing that I did that was inspired by helping my parents downsize years ago, that I'm doing now for my children for when they have to clean out my stuff, is I'm making a memory book. It's sort of like when you have memories of your kids and, you know, their first steps or whatever. So I'm taking pictures of things that really are meaningful to me, but there's just really no reason to keep them. No one else is going to want them. And I'm taking a photograph and I'm putting it in an album and writing a little story about what it meant to me. And this way the story can get handed down, but the object, I've already given it away. No one has to decide what to do with it.
That's so generous. I think that people often forget where things come from, where things go, and how they can affect other people. And that's the idea of karma. And that you're so generous to put some intention and thought into how to pass on these objects, the meaning of it, without holding on to the object, and also to think far ahead that you don't want to burden your children with this.
Let's talk to Cammie on line 6, calling in from New Jersey. Hi, Cammie. Thanks for calling All of It.
Hi, thank you so much for this topic. Spring cleaning. I didn't even think that that's what I was doing. So long story short, I had 2 shelves full of books, and so I had taken the books down and I put them in a box, and then somebody was talking to me, and they said, "Oh, you know, we have a book exchange here." And so then I found a way to get my books to Montclair. That's a whole other story. And I took down the books, I took down the shelves, and I recently went to Nepal and I bought this handmade painting called Green Tara, and I had it framed at Michael's. And so that's on my wall instead of the cluttered. Well, I shouldn't say cluttered. They were pretty neat.
Yeah.
The bookshelves full of books. And so they have a good home, or they're going to be finding a good home. And I'm thrilled because Green Tara is now on the wall and she's very happy.
Well, you've transformed into Green Tara. Green Tara is a goddess that helps others. She's positioned. Yeah, she's always positioned with one leg forward, ready to help others. And so what a gift that you are passing along the knowledge in these books to keep going. And also your share here is inspiring others to let go of books and make room to truly help people.
This question says, how to declutter a bathroom closet? Do I throw out all the hair, skin, etc. products, vitamins, pills? This is my immediate mess. What is the role of feng shui in a bathroom?
So with your products, beauty products, health products, as well as your pantry, if you hold expired items, it affects your health, because when we store things that are expired and beyond their helpfulness, then that kind of energy seeps into our lives. So I would start simply with the things that are expired and letting those go. And then if it is some kind of maybe toxic material, you like medications, I would definitely look up. There's a lot of guidance on the wonderful internet about how to dispose of those properly.
This says, hi there. Is there any energy, negative or positive, associated with antiques? I don't know the history of all the objects I have in my home, but feeling there's some stale or stagnant energy. How can I determine which ones to keep, which ones to sell?
That's a great question. So it's so important, I think, now also to not just buy new things, but objects, places, land, hold the energy of the previous inhabitants, the previous owners. So one rule of thumb is to go with your heart. See what feels off for you. And if it feels off for you, that object, you can clear it with, you can use something as simple as putting it on a windowsill and letting it see one whole day, 24 hours, one cycle of the sun and one cycle of the moon, and clean it properly. Like, so you do the yin and the yang, and then see if it still feels okay to you. And some things maybe have an energy that is really helpful for you, like a family heirloom that reminds you of a very special grandparent. So some things have good energy and some may have like energy that's not compatible with you.
We've been talking a lot about decluttering for spring, but you can add things in Feng Shui to your environment. Tell us some of the things that we can add.
Well, I think one wonderful thing that you can add to your home for inspiration is like a bowl of fresh oranges. That's something wonderful to do to invite in this springtime energy, that freshness. I even actually just got a grapefruit candle yesterday because it's such a brightening energy related to spring, because before I had like a cedar scented candle, and that's more winter. And I really wanted to invite in spring. So something, especially like a consumable, is nice to you because it doesn't stay forever. But like a candle or citrus to really brighten the space. And you can even mist orange essence or orange essential oil around you to lift the chi. The chi is life force energy, and lift the space. So bringing in something fresh, vibrant, and alive.
Before we wrap, what are some easy, low-effort changes people can make today?
I think
3 of them. Let's think 3 of them.
Okay. One is to definitely see what's happening at your entry. So your entry represents your face to the world. So notice if when's the last time you cleaned like your apartment door or your front door and the door jamb around it and shook out your doormat and freshen that. That's like freshening your face to the world. It's like brushing your hair before you go out, right? And so see what your front entry looks like. So take some time to do that. 2 is, this is less of a doing thing, but another way that you can bring fresh energy into your home for the spring equinox or for spring is to just take a moment, like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and sit in the center of your space. And then just close your eyes and say hello to your space. And then take a few minutes to just breathe in and then breathe out. And then visualize your breathing in with the home and breathing out with the home. And just do that so you can, and actually I forgot to mention, open up all the windows so that you're just breathing in and out with your space and resetting the nervous system of your home just like you would do for yourself.
And the third thing?
And the third thing, I don't know, there's so many. I would say definitely take a look at your closet, because that's been top of mind for me, because we're also shifting into spring clothes. Not yet the time to go tanning, maybe, like that guy yesterday. But, we can start to, I'm putting away my sleeping bag jacket and brought out the lighter jackets. So I would recommend, just find maybe 9 things that you can give away or donate or pack away that no longer from your wardrobe. And you can offer it to, you could donate it or you could put it away for next winter.
I've been talking with Feng Shui expert and architect Angie Cho. Angie, thank you for answering our listeners' questions, and thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.